Well, welcome to Pastor Kim and Esther's Table. I'm so glad you joined with us today. I have my lovely ladies that we missed 2 weeks ago. I have Sherry,
Hello.
Chelsea,
Hi.
Linda,
Hi.
and Mary.
Hello.
Well, welcome back, ladies. And they're going to join in with us as we continue on part 3 of feelings versus faith. And I just going to start off with the scripture that I continue on from last week, a couple weeks ago, and it's coming from Proverbs 3 and 5. I'm just going to start off with that and also have a couple more scriptures to guard your heart as well. But I'm just going to say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. And the understanding in the word is flee from evil. And I sometimes feel like, our feelings kind of get information from the outside world when we in our feelings. We kind of, if we go to social media, we see some things that's like maybe not right, or if you're frustrated or angry. And sometimes you just can't rely on your own understanding. You have to go into the Word of God. You have to go into praise. And as I testified a couple weeks ago, that I was in my feelings. This is where this came from. I was in my feelings. And I know as a Christian, we say like, no, y'all don't supposed to be in your feelings. But Linda here, she gave us grace. And she said, you can be in your feelings. You can do that. But you have to allow the inner man, the inner spirit, to allow it to dominate your feelings. Sometimes we have to go in and say, like, where did that come from? Got to take
Right.
inventory on what's going on the inside. And that's why I say always trust in the Lord. So you go into that prayer closet, you go into that praise closet, and you just trust Him with everything. And sometimes we're just so full of the world. We're so full of the world. And I want to encourage you today just to go to God honestly. And you can talk about your feelings with the word, with the Lord. Just like
Right.
Chelsea said,
Right.
He already know. He
Yeah.
already know your thoughts. He already know what's going on. And that's the reason why it's a good motivation to go
Right.
in the presence of the Lord. And we're going to start with that today. And we're kind of going to go back into a couple weeks ago. Maybe we have some more testimonies as we get into the Word of God with you. And grab your friends, grab a cup of Joe, and get into the Word today as we continue on faith versus your feelings. Anybody else want to start today?
Well, I'll go because I know I
You was in your
was
feelings
talking
too?
before. I've been in my feelings for a few weeks now, and it's like nobody could say anything to me without me starting to cry. Nobody could,
Yeah. Right.
it's just all different kinds of stuff bombarding. You got this person, maybe cussing you out through text messages, or you got this other person, or you got something going on like your
Right.
car's broke down, your kids are just running you ragged and stuff. So, I know I was in my feelings. I
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
And I just had to get to the place where um, I have to rely on God,
Mhm.
but not only that, but to get into His presence, like you were saying,
Mhm.
and praise and worship Him,
Yeah.
and and I know like today when I was, um, focusing and praying, and I said, God, show me,
Yeah, that's a
because
good one.
if that stuff is going on internally, what am I doing, or what am I thinking about? Showing,
Mhm.
show me. Where am I in this whole thing?
Mhm.
Because it's me. My feelings.
Right.
I've owned it. These are my feelings. So
Yeah.
why
Right.
am I putting myself in the way?
Yeah.
Right. And I think people, you think those are your feelings, and maybe you might start thinking, what am I doing wrong? Where really, if you really look into it and think about it, maybe it's somebody else doing something to you and making you feel bad about yourself.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
that's true
don't
too.
want to,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm really good at starting off about, well, blah 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 blah, and before it's over with, like, I'm so bad.
yeah.
It's me. It's all me. It's not them. It's me. And then, so yeah,
Yeah.
start beating myself up.
I feel like maybe there's two kinds of people. You can either be the person that's like, oh, I'm
that way, but I can't stay on that.
Yeah.
path. I can't stay on that path.
Well, that's true. You brought up a point with focusing. Sometimes when we're in our feelings, we don't focus on, the good things. As you was talking about, Chelsea, last week, that you can come home and think about where you're coming home to, your family, your children, your husband, and you begin to focus on the good things that God has for you. But when you're right, when you get off focus and your feelings is, as we was talking about coming here, your emotions are the outer results of the feelings that's working on the inside. So if you're like, yelling or popping off at the mouth with other people, it's something on the inside internally. And God, even He also discussed different things about your feelings, like be angry and sin not. So those are actually permission for you to allow Him to go, for you to discuss that, to go into His presence and see what's going on with that. So that's a good point. Good point.
Oh, we have a hang glider.
Uh-oh.
That's what we're hearing.
That's what happens when you're outside. That's what happens when you're outside in
and
sunny
it's a
Ohio.
beautiful day.
It
so
is.
people are going to be doing their thing, and we're in the country, but that's where hang.
That's right.
What?
We're doing our thing.
That's right. We're doing our thing, and they're hang gliding. Maybe you wanted to come see us.
You just gotta focus. Sherry, you wasn't here a couple of weeks ago. How do you feel about like having faith versus feelings? Do we want to dominate that, or can we even deal with them?
Well, I think it's important to realize that we all have feelings, and it's not that feelings are always bad. There's going to be a reaction to everything that we experience in life. It's when we realize that we're dwelling on something that's negative too long, and that is knowing when it's time to give it to God. If we realize, okay, I'm feeling bad about this, I'm feeling sad, that's a normal reaction, and Christ knows we're going to feel those types of reactions. But it's when we start dwelling upon whatever it is we're going through for too long, and not wanting to let go of it, and let Christ take it, and having faith in the fact that He has it. And I think that's what every Christian struggles with.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what your issue may have been. Maybe you're strong in the area of finances, okay? Maybe you worry about your finances, God takes care of it, and you're okay. But maybe you're weak in health issues. Your health is challenged, and you don't want to stand on that word, on His word that says that He's already healed us.
Right.
So there are times when, Christ always knows the end at the beginning. So He already knew what we were going to struggle with.
Yeah.
And so it's just very important to just be able to say, okay, I've dealt with this long enough. I've been in my feelings long enough.
Right.
I'm going to give this to God.
Right. And that's how the faith dominates your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
But what comes to mind when she says that is that you get those feelings, and then and somebody I know that's in church said this in a Bible study once. It's like, you got to get Jesus down in your belly, deep down in your belly, and you got to let Him roll around down in there. But here's what I'm thinking when you're saying that. I'm like, that's what we do with our feelings of whatever it is.
Yeah.
We got it down there, and it festers, and it just stays there, and we can't get it out.
Right.
But we need to replace that with the word and Jesus saying, let it get down in there and roll around. Take all them stuff out.
Right.
That's what came to mind.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
And like we say with a lot of things,
Yeah.
you have to keep giving it to God.
Well, yeah, it's
sometimes.
not a one-time
that's
deal.
true. Oh my
That's
gosh,
so
yeah.
true.
You get that grace and that healing that you ask for,
Right.
but then maybe you need to ask again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your salvation the one time, but you got to keep you got to keep
Work it
plugging
out.
away.
That's right.
You know?
Right.
He said work it out.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
Have you all ever been to where it's like, okay, I want to be right in my feelings right about now.
Oh, I said that a couple weeks ago. I was like,
I want to be in my feelings.
I was like, I
Let
wanna
me
be in my
my feelings. I'm not ready to let it go.
Yeah.
Because I know I've been there because
Yeah.
it's like, but they did this to
Oh yeah.
me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to get
Oh, yeah.
over it just yet.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, give me a couple more
Like
days.
you're like
know.
right on the verge of crying, and they're like, "No, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna cry." And they're like, "No, I am gonna cry. I'm gonna cry."
Yeah, that's the truth. I said that a couple weeks ago. I was like, when I was in my feelings about something that I did wrong. I was like, no, he was wrong, Lord. He was wrong. I know he was wrong. He's
Right.
like, no, you just need to go up there. And I
Right.
said, no, I want to get my feelings today.
Well, here's the
Right.
difference between, I think we're all obviously women, and either we're married or we have
Or children.
or children. But I'm talking about relationships
Yeah.
with a male female relationship. So when you get in your feelings and it's you and him and you're going at it with whatever it is
Right.
that's caused you to have these feelings, you just, at least somebody else at this table admit you run away. And they're just out there, let me get something to eat.
Oh, yeah. They
Let me
get
get something
over
to
it.
drink.
Over it. Yeah,
I'm going
man.
to turn on a TV. And
That's
you're in
how
your,
you can be over it.
and
Yeah.
you're in your
Seems
room going,
that
"What?"
we have a few more feelings.
Yeah,
but-
we are a lot more emotional than men
Yeah,
are.
it's not that serious.
Yeah, they can say something and our feelings are hurt, and we can say something and they're like, oh, well, I don't care what she thinks.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you don't supposed to be over. You're supposed to be right along with this feeling right here. So I don't even know why you're eating food like that. So, but anyway, we're gonna pause for just one moment and getting back into the faith versus feelings, and maybe we can have some remedies on how to overcome or how to engage with God as we discuss this topic today. Stay back with us.
Hi, I'm Pastor Anthony Brooks, the senior pastor of the J-Hop Worship Center. Now, J-Hop is an acronym for Jesus House of Believers. I'm also Pastor Kim Brooks' husband of Pastor Kim and the Ladies of Esther's Table. And this morning, I'm joined by my beautiful teenage daughter, Elisha.
Hi, I'm Kelisha. Pastor Kim and the ladies of the Esther's Table would really appreciate if you would partner with them. And in doing so, you will get my dad's new series, The World Conforms, But I Am Transformed, in your hands.
Let's take a sneak peek of that new series right now. We'll be right back.
The Greek word conform is the word that derives from schema, which means to shape. What are the world shaping you into? Stop allowing the enemy, stop allowing the system playing out your life. Just keeping it 100 this morning. See, God wants us to change from our human nature. And Paul is telling them to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Make yourself new like Adam in the garden. You have to understand that we must watch what we eat. Let me go back to the metamorphosis about the caterpillar. Some caterpillars only eat one kind of food their whole lives. Let me tell you. In the same way, us as believers should eat only one kind of food. It's a spiritual food that goes throughout your life and sets you up for victories, because you're going to be the victim sometime. It sets you up for triumphs, because you're going to fail sometime. Even a just man fail at least 7 times. It's going to set you up to be the head and not the tail. Sometimes you got to drag in because you're the tail. But it's going to set your life up to live in victory and peace, because you're going to have some trouble sometime. Listen, there's going to be a midnight hour sometime, and joy going to have to follow that. But here's what he's saying: if you eat the right kind of food, if you eat on me, if you do like the caterpillar, don't get off the diet, your spiritual diet. See, what we do is jump in the world and we go to Chili's and we get the big nasty belly and we got heart problems and all kind of stuff. But if you just stay in the spiritual realm of the Word of God and you eat on that, it takes care of what you got to walk through in the world. He's got a strict diet because there's a process going on inside of him to make him be able to fly in the glory of God. And wait a minute. This process of this caterpillar, when he's eating, start a transformation that you can't see on the outside yet. But he keep on eating, even though he might be sick of it. Sometimes I get sick of church folk. I don't even want to look at my Bible.
What a powerful series that God have allowed me to share with the congregation, and it's a free gift to you for any partnership pledge to Pastor Kim and the Ladies of Esther's Table. Now, you can get it by 2 ways. You can write us at P.O. Box 494, Hebron, Kentucky 41048. Or you can go to our website at
www.jhob-wc.org.
let's get back out to Pastor Ken.
And the ladies of the Esther's table.
God bless you. We'll see you soon.
Well, welcome back to Pastor Kim and Esther's Table. We're discussing today faith versus feelings. We're on part 3, and we had Mary and Sherry to come back with us, which they wasn't here a couple of weeks ago. So we're so glad they have come back in with their wisdom nuggets and to discuss the Word of God with us. And I just wanted to go into the Word, and we did discuss Proverbs 3 and 5, but I also want to add Proverbs 4 and 23. And it says, guard your heart more than anything else, because the source of your life flows from it. So in other words, you have to guard your heart. I have a testimony today as well that I had to put a praise on it. I did. I had to. Sometimes prayer can get routine. Reading the word can get routine. You know, of course, we read the word, which is great. And sometimes it's just like, it didn't connect with me. I'm still in my feelings. But then I just like, you know what? Let me put a praise on it. And if you go to our website, you can also look at Pastor Anthony's message about praise, complain and remain. And he also said, if you praise, you will be raised. So I was listening to that sermon this week, and I was getting the praise weapon, and he discussed that praise is more powerful. I know all of them are powerful. I know that, but praise is where you put your focus back on who's in charge, really, on who's in control. Because sometimes your feelings get you out there. You be on the treadmill of your mind and on these thoughts of these negativities, and God, if you just praise him, like, you know what, I trust you, Lord. And even though I'm concerned about the situation, but God, you are in control, different things like that. So if you allow the praise weapon to maybe be the first, because even Jesus said that on his prayer first, he said, hallowed be thy name. He first started with the praise and knowing who he is. So that was something to encourage you today. Make sure that you use the praise weapon. Use the praise weapon, because that did get me out my feelings and made me realize, you know what, I can't do the things that he wants me to do until I realize on who he is. And I'm into him.
Reminds me of the song on the radio, When Did I Forget That He's Always Been the King of the World?
That's right. Right, exactly. So you never forget that, and always.
When you got too deep in your feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's where the faith come in at too, that even though that you still in your feelings, I discussed that a couple weeks ago, that even though that you're in your feelings and you're still there, even though I didn't feel like praising him at all. At all. I really didn't. And I know we like, well, you supposed to do that. You're supposed to praise him. You're supposed to have prayer. But sometimes, we're still human. And just keep it real. We're still human, and God has to allow you to get into those moments so you can get more dependent on him.
Right.
So.
And the praiseworthy is part of what I was going to share. So
yeah.
Paul says in Philippians, in a letter to his family, he says, think about such things, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy.
Yes. Yes.
Think about these things, and then you will find peace.
I think that's what it is that we be in turmoil and all those things fester in your belly.
Right.
And so you do have a storm going on in there. So if you think about those things,
that's right.
That's pretty good.
That's right. And that was another thing, that we was talking about a few weeks ago about peace in your storm. And it's just like you can speak to that situation, and say, be still, because God says, for us to be still and know that, know that he is God.
Right.
And so we have the authority that we can speak to those situations.
Right.
We can tell that.
You're feeling.
You feel it, you gotta go.
You do.
You gotta go.
Right.
In Psalm 62 and 5, and it's in the easy to read version, it says, I must calm down and turn to God. Only he can rescue me. So in other words, how I say it, just sit down before you hurt yourself.
That's right. Right, exactly.
Sit down.
Exactly. We was I was just tell you, we was talking about the squirrel that Then let me tell you the story. My husband was heading to a store, and he was heading this way, and another car was going this way, and it was a squirrel in the middle. And of course, squirrels, they go back to, they go back to their where they came from because they're not really sure what's on the other side. But he was right there in the middle. So as both of us was coming this way, he's like, "What do I do?" And then I said, "You know what? That's a good word right there. That squirrel should have just stayed still,
Right.
and see the salvation of the Lord." And but he actually, unfortunately, Pastor Anthony, he took it on the wheel. So, but
That's what you
the
get for
whole
going back.
exactly for going back.
That's what you get for going
you
back.
get crushed when you go back. You just gotta
Or
sometimes
if
you
you don't
gotta
know
stay
what
still.
to do, stand still.
Just stand still.
Right. Don't
So that was a
get
good one.
scared
Until
and
you
go
get
back
your
where
next
you just came
instructions.
from.
Right, exactly. That's what it was. He
That's
was
good.
scared.
I like
know.
that.
And that's what we always do when my husband and I would just see different things in the nature. I believe that God shows different many lessons in nature, but that one right there, I was like, you know what? He just should have stayed still,
Right.
and maybe he should have.
Stayed still. Or the other night, I drove down to the end of the driveway in the dark in the car to put something in the mailbox for Chelsea that she needed to pick up, and there was a big bullfrog in the middle of my driveway, and I'm like, so I
What are you
missed
gonna
him. So I went down, did my thing, and I backed up using the backup camera, and I'm looking. I'm like, he must have moved on. Oh, no, I mean, he was this big, and I ran over him, and my feelings, I felt so bad.
That's terrible.
But he didn't, he stood still, but he should have moved.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. No,
And I was thinking, why didn't
he
he
move?
He saw me come through the first time.
That's a good.
You didn't know you were turning around.
Oh, that's a good.
And then the next morning I get up and I open up my window and there's a big turkey vulture eating him. Oh!
He just got defeated.
So I didn't just run over him, I had to see all that.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a story right there.
Oh my goodness.
You'll get eaten up, I tell you. That's a good one. Don't say in your feelings. You better move.
You get eaten by the vulture.
And the Lord, he'll just sit there. He's like, why she didn't move? Why she didn't move?
Right. Depends on whether you're a squirrel or a frog.
That's a good one. Like, these ladies are trips.
So does that mean it is up to us?
That's
You
right.
gotta get it. You
You
gotta
gotta
get
know
the
when
word.
to stand
You gotta
and you gotta
know
go when to move.
And he
Exactly.
said,
And we don't know. We gotta ask.
Well, yeah, we do.
But,
Yeah, we do.
but he gave us the authority to ask, but he also gave us higher intelligence than frogs and squirrels.
Yes. Yes. To move.
You know when to stand.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
This is what happens when we outside. This is what happens when we outside. But it's all good. It's all good. So we gave you 2 metaphors about nature, and it was really good. You just got to know when to move or when to stay still.
Right.
So that's a good point. Amen to that.
There's a reason why we God put that squirrel in your path and the frog in mine so we can tell this story.
Anyway, but back to the word. So I just want to add Proverbs 4:24. When you guard your heart, it says, remove dishonesty from your mouth and put deceptive speech far away from your lips. So whenever you have depression, or you say, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not good enough to do the will of God, or I'm not a good mother, or anything like that, that is deceptive, because he said that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Right. And sometimes the devil, he always try to look in your loophole of your armor, and he always try to see the weak spots. He, like you said, Linda, he's running around to devour you. So make sure that you're keeping the negativity from your mouth, because whatever your mouth, whatever out of your heart, it speaks. So make sure that you're allowing the word of God to fester into your heart, and then that way it will produce positive. It will produce life. You will speak life. Death and life is in the power of the tongue.
Right.
And you got to make sure that your feelings are in check, before you even say it. I sometimes do that too. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Because
let me
you-
not say what I'm about to say.
Right, because
Right.
it does give
Right.
you it
Yeah.
does give you that negativity. It really, whatever you say, that's who you are.
Right.
Yes.
You know.
And
I
then
think that
now,
definitely
in
Yeah.
this era, this time of the world, we don't just have the platform of using our tongue face to face or writing on a letter and put it in the
Yes,
mail.
that's
We
still
got
like-
all this social media out there.
Yeah.
And how
It
many
makes it
avenues do we
really
have?
hard.
Our
Yeah.
phone, our Facebook, our
Instagram.
Especially
Instagram, and
Yeah.
whatever those
Yeah.
things are that I don't use a lot of. That if you're feeling it, boom, here you
That's
go. Let
right.
me send it to that person.
It
Let me
does.
send it to
It
that
does.
person.
Makes it a lot easier.
And,
Yeah.
for
but it
people
also
to
makes
say negative things.
right.
Right,
to
it
say
does.
most,
Right.
I would say
As well as
it,
positives,
It
but-
allows a platform
It
for
does.
a lot of negativity, only because
Yeah.
it makes you don't have to be as brave.
You're brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're brave behind the
Yeah.
the typing. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I've
truth.
seen that a lot on social media, especially if somebody's got something that they're really mad about. They'll
I
go
know,
to
they
social
do.
media and put it all in there, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
so that everybody
Bad.
can know,
Right.
what they're feeling
Uh-oh.
instead of, okay.
I know it. All right, so that's going to be on part number 4 as we could return back next week. Come back to us again as we continue on faith versus feelings. You can go to our website, www.jhop-wc, to get our past shows, and also write to us if you have a vision for a topic for us to discuss. We would love to hear from you. And again, thank you for joining in the Pastor Kim and the Esther's Table. Come back with us next week. God bless.